Welcome along to Jalan Besar Stadium for the Singapore Premier League fixture between the Young Lions and Balestier Khalsa. The away side come into this game with an opportunity to move into the top half of the standings. This is the third game on the schedule for match week 15. Two fixtures taking place yesterday. BG Tampines Rovers suffered their first defeat in the SPL this season after their 3-2 loss to Albrechts at Jurong East. Jalan International secured another 3 points with their 1-0 win against Hougang United. Lion City Sailors take on Tanjong Pagar United at Jurong East tomorrow to wrap things up on match week 15. This is what the table looks like ahead of the game we are focusing on tonight. Balestier Khalsa are 5th, but can move back up to 4th if they avoid defeat tonight. They'll be targeting maximum points though against a Young Lions side who was 7th, having picked up just 5 points this campaign. A win for them will be their first on merit, and it will see them pull away from Tanjong Pagar at the bottom. Let's hear from the head coaches of both sides, with Firdaus Qasim of the Young Lions up first, followed by Marko Kraljevic of Balestier Khalsa.
Hi Firdaus, a much needed break for Young Lions. Welcome back, ready to get going again?
Yeah, as always.
And I'll ask you, like maybe a little bit different this time. What have you been impressed with the team in training and preparations leading up to this?
Well, I think preparation first has been. I think players are coming in from different contexts. Some are from national teams, some from under 22, and some from the second team. So reality is that we only had past 1 week to work together as a team. But it's really a mixed feeling, actually, because we lost, over the past 3 weeks, we lost 4 players who will be out of the season. It's a crazy situation. In total, that's 5 or 6 centre backs that we lost for the whole entire season. But in any case, the positive is that we had Nathan Mao, I think, in the national team. And this is what our work has always been, to develop the players to make sure they are at this level. So yeah, let's see I'm very excited to see next 3-4 players in the next couple of years making the step.
And with all that said, how does that translate into your starting 11 today?
Well, translation of the first 11, I think first and foremost players who are fresh and ready to go, but at the same time I think players are very motivated. So you want to have a lot of energy today, so that explains the team selection. So let's see whether it's the right one.
And you're still hunting your first win on the pitch, and with all the positives leading up to today, how possible is getting all 3 points tonight?
Every week we are positive. I like that you put it on the pitch. So hopefully today will be the day we have been waiting for the entire year. Sometimes there are moments that we felt that we really deserve it, but let's see how it goes today.
Hi Marko, you face Young Lions today. 3 points up for grabs. Thoughts ahead of this match?
3 weeks off and they start again. Last 7 games in the league. Focus about each game. Young Lions, first game for us after break. I think previous 2 games was not easy for us, and then from first minute we need to be focused, and we need to work hard, and then we need to score the goals, and it's very important. Let's keep clean sheets.
And you might not have your ideal starting 11 due to Harith's suspension, and we have seen performances that are lacking because you don't have your ideal selection. What kind of Balestier will show up tonight?
Yeah, it's okay. One meaning is Harith's suspension, but another one will step in and try doing all the best. This is no excuses for the performance.
And going back to what you said earlier, you've got outlets in attack, but there are also some shakiness defensively. How will you find the balance between both? You have yet to keep a clean sheet all season long.
I don't look at it like this, defense shaky or not. We start defense from the striker, for 2 strikers we start defense. Everybody needs to defend. This is very important, We work as team, and we don't split the defense attack, and this one everybody needs to work hard and then make sure we close down, make sure we are behind the ball, and then make sure we keep clean sheets.
Well, great hearing from both coaches ahead of kickoff, and with me in the commentary position is someone who has been in that position, having to answer questions prior to matches and after them as well. Former player and coach in the league, Shasi Kumar. Shasi, well, we've got a game here between Balestier Khalsa and the Young Lions. The Young Lions, we know of their struggles this campaign. For Balestier, a chance to move into the top half of the table. So What do you think we're going to get from these two sides tonight?
Yeah, you're right. I think Balestier, they've got every opportunity today to go above Jalan, as you said, and I think we've expected goals today. You know, I think, and if you look at the young Lions, and we'll talk about that, the starting 11. You know, we talk about local players. They've got 10 local players in there as well, starting the game against a Balestier side with some foreign players who has been outstanding. You know, namely Khalsa. And in the past few matches, just before the break as well, Mandic has come into a bit of form as well. So, you know, we're expecting goals, and let's hope we have that.
It is a lovely playing surface out here at Jalan Besar. A very humid evening. Thankfully, well, for now anyway, we've got a bit of breeze coming across the ground, so that is helping somewhat. Oh yeah, difficult conditions for the players to contend with. Those are the match officials for this one. Referee is Muhammad Shakawi Buhari. First assistant referee J. Ashok Raj. Second assistant referee will be Justin Chow. And the fourth official, Mazlan Pagira. Video assistant referees in support this evening. VAR is Farhad Muhammad. Assistant VAR, Elson Fu. Madu Mahana, captain of Balestier Khalsa, coming across for the coin toss. Amir Shafiz standing opposite him. Well, let's have a look at the lineups, beginning with the home side. The Young Lions have made 5 changes from the last time they were in league action. 4 of those 5 players making their first start for the club in the SPL this season. Marcus Moses and Abdul Qayyim feature together in central defence, with the Young Lions struggling with an injury crisis in that position. Gar Sahu and Daniel Ukail also get starts for the first time. Andrew Au returns to the team this evening as well. All of the Young Lions goals are on the bench. Sergio Mendonca and Abner Vinicius sitting this one out for now. And Firdous Qasim, who has often spoken about his responsibility with the Young Lions being to produce players for the national team and to give opportunities. Points have been hard to come by for him. And this is what Balestier have gone with for their starting 11. They have made 3 changes from their last league game. Mario Mustapic makes his returning goal, having returned to full fitness. Tajali Salamat comes back into the lineup in place of the suspended Harith Kanadi. He was sent off in the last game. Lazar Vujanic is also back in the side. He slots into the midfield in place of Elijah Lim, who is back on the bench for this one. Alongside Elijah Lim, Daniel Goh and Fudil Iyad, providing a little bit more experience if required later on in this contest. Marko Kraljevic taking charge of his 280th career match as a head coach in the Singapore Premier League. It is his 232nd game as Balestier's head coach over 3 spells. Shasi, having had a look at the lineups and the formations, where do you see the key battles taking place?
Well, interesting, isn't it? Marcus Moses playing in central defence, his first start alongside Abdul Qayyim. They will have their work cut out for them against Mandic and Matic as well, just supporting from behind him. And in the middle of the park as well, you've got Ajay Robson and Daniel Ukail, and number 62. They're up against Vujanic, who's been outstanding this season, and Sugita. And, you know, I think they have to be on top of the game. And I think Firdous spoke about those 5 defenders. And thanks to our pitch side reporter, Tessa, Akil, Yazid, and Joylson Lucas are 100% out for the rest of the season. Kieran and Enrico are currently injured. And obviously, Raul Suhaimi has gone back to BG.
So we're underway at Jalan Besar. The Young Lions against Balestier Khalsa. The Young Lions in 7th on the standings, playing in red, going from left to right on your screens, up against Balestier Khalsa in the black. Balestier 5th in the SPL at the moment after Gelang's win last night against Hougang. But a point here will be enough to send them back into 4th. Although They'll be looking for a lot more than that. They've been in a good run of form, Balestier, coming into this fixture. The last outing was a defeat against the Lion City Sailors, but prior to that, they had won 4 in a row. I expect them to be the favourites this evening here at the Jalan Besar against what is a pretty inexperienced young Lions side. Lots of young players in there. 17-year-old Daniel Ukail, example, in central midfield. And they do have Nathan Mao leading the line, the 18-year-old who made his senior international debut against Bangladesh. And Nathan Mao yet to really fire in the Singapore Premier League. No goals yet.
Yeah, interesting to see Katusa and Ignatius switching sides to start off with. Usually Katusa starts off on the left-hand side, Ignatius on that right-hand side. So let's see what happens during the game. I'm sure there's going to be a switch somewhere.
Here's Nathan Mao, dropping deep to offer support for Lut Harit. Off the throw-in, Vujanic picks it up in midfield. Andrew Au takes it away from Ignatius Ang. It's hooked up into the air by Marcus Moses. Vujanic, Mandic, Katusha. Great shape on that cross, a little bit too close to his one.
Yeah, poor control from Gav Sahu there, giving the ball away. Ball a little bit too close to his one.
There's one Mabut, one of the more experienced players in this side, 35-year-old. And he's got a 36-year-old in front of him in Abdel Kaim. Abdel, who's playing against one of his former clubs, making his first start. Took some time to get himself back to full fitness. And here he is available at a time in which the Young Lions is struggling in that position. And gone with this 4-2-4 setup here off the ball, Chassis.
Yeah, exactly. When Balestier do get the ball at the back, you just see a line of 4 up top with Gav Sahu, Nathan Mao, Amir Shafiz and Spence.
Certainly is getting lots of minutes, is one Mabut, who's struggling for those at the Lion City Sailors. Amir. Heavy touch on that attempt at a layoff. Estajeli. Passes it straight to Spence. Mao into Amir Shafiz. Lovely ball over the top. That's a great first touch. Gav Sahu is in behind. Oh, what a chance. That's a massive chance for the Young Lions. Flag didn't go up. It looks like it'll be a goal kick.
Oh, first up, that was a great ball, wasn't it? And his first touch was brilliant. And I tell you what, he should have scored this. It's a poor miss. But having said that, he probably had too much time there. He could have gone for the shot slightly earlier. But that's a miss.
Far post was wide open. Here's Mao. Good ball in behind. Another test for Mustapic. This time the shot coming in from Daniel Ukail. Lively start by the Young Lions. Here's the energetic Ajay Robson.
Well, the problem is they have to take their chances. The chance is presented like that, but he got to say brilliant first touch from Gav Sahu there on the run.
Here is Gav Sahu, showing his pace. Collision of the ball between Vujanic and Amir Shafiz. Play continues. Nathan Mao, who starts up front, looks to be given a license to roam. Loose from Ajay Robson, and it's gone in very late on Matic.
It was all because of his poor first touch, Ajay Robson. And probably a talking to by referee Shakawi. Yeah, it's just late, and Nothing more than that. I think it's the right decision. It's just a free kick. And this was the earlier chance. Youngster, 17-year-old, Kyle with a shot. Made the goalkeeper work.
Well, good to see RJ Robson back in action and making a contribution. Broke through with Hougang United. Gets through a lot of work in central midfield. And Shasi, a player that you know pretty well.
Yep, lots of hard work. He puts in the effort, covers almost every blade of the grass. The only criticism, obviously, it's that final product can go in blindly at times, as you've seen just a few moments ago. Will come with experience.
Abdel floats a good pass into Spence, but he's immediately in those positions going to be under pressure. As a handball from Andrew Au.
And that header from Nathan Mao. Definitely handball that. Katusa taking his position on the left now. Yes, got a good delivery on him, Katusa. So many players to aim for.
6 for Balestier in the box. Katusha, low delivery. I think it might have come off a Young Lions player. Here's one, looks for the quick release to Spence. Who is a threat for the Young Lions down that side of the pitch. If they can get it into him in positions where he can have a run at the opposition defenders. There's Vujanic. Gets a set up, looking for movement. Wants some support. Decides he has to go a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was interesting. Tim Matic had opened up on this left-hand side. Vujanic didn't notice him. Hence that long ball out for Ignatius.
It's Daniel Kyle. Shubaric. Well, the Young Lions at the moment, with the way that they've set up, making it very difficult for Balestier to play through the middle. There they go, there's Sugita. Now they found a way to get into the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, having done that, they have to make the passes count. It has to be precise. Because once you do that, and then the 4 up top, they've beaten for the Young Lions. And then game is on.
Wow, Amir. Nathan Mao takes it away from Vujanic. And Darren Tay, quick on the cover. Once again, the ball out wide to start the attack for Balestier. And this time around, Andrew Au is quicker to close down Katusha. Manu Mahana. Going to be patient in possession. Stoppage. That's not a good pass out. RJ Robson unable to really capitalize. But he's found some space.
You can see what he was trying to do, trying to play it off a Balestier defense, or the defender. That was what I was talking about, that final product missing.
Sugita. Tajeli, Matic. Well, Subaric should get there on the cover, and he does very well to win the goal kick.
Yeah, exactly. Just went for the sliding challenge there. Okay, it comes off Spence. Well, just a few times, Balestier, they've beaten that four-man press, if you will. Then, final ball, that pass out, the next step, missing. Not precise enough.
This is the final league meeting between the clubs this season. Balestier picking up victories in their first two games, although they were given a bit of a scare on both occasions. Tigers needing a goal in the 10th minute of added time at the end of the 90 to win their first meeting 2-1. That second game finishing 3-1 to Balestier, but they were again made to work pretty hard for that result. Young Lions, by the way, with just one win against Balestier in the last 14 encounters in all competitions. Oh, smart from Abdil. Then Joao in space. It's Darren Tay. Sahut intercepts that pass. Mao, Spence, but it gets a space. Big chance again. What a save from Mustapic. Although, you have to say, Spence should have scored.
So you say what a save, I say what a miss. Again, second time. Open goal. You can't be missing chances like this, the Young Lions. Puts it on a plate for Spence. Having said that, good save from the goalkeeper. He worked it very well after a mistake from Darren. He knows it as well. When Nathan Mao gets it here, he does well, head up, puts it on a plate. Should have made it 1-0 there. Should have been 2-0 up, the Young Lions.
Oh, you talk about chance quality and expected goals. Those were two high-quality chances.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 shots inside the area already. And a couple of those one-on-one against the goalkeeper. It's Daniel Kyle. Does look to be a talent, Daniel Okaya. Comfortable in possession.
Yeah, he wants the ball all the time as well for a youngster. That's good to see. Playing with obviously no fear.
Spent some time in Australia with Melbourne City in the youth system. As Lutharit into Spence. That might have actually gone across the road.
But that was a great ball in to Luth. I think it was his one. It was a brilliant ball. Again, Spence, that's a half chance, I got to say. A difficult one to take, but still. Young Lions knocking on the door.
Well, there's a dad joke for you, eh? Why the football cross the road? Matic. Tay. Ang. That's Vujanic. Matic. There's Mandic with the shot. And he's won a corner.
Yeah, first time really troubled the Young Lions defense. The ball in from Matic was a little bit too high, too hard for Mandic there. That's the one. He could have gone low. Mandic could have taken it first time. Still corner. think Marcus Moses does just enough there.
Bogdan Mandic, a player who was struggling initially, just one league goal in his first 9 appearances in this competition. But over the last few weeks, or match weeks, he's been quite a threat, as Vujanic's header is easy for Izwan.
Yeah, it could have been a flick on by Vujanic. That would have been a better choice. So far off, going for goal.
Advantage will be played. Ajay Robson. Abdel.
No pressure at all. He could have turned. Even then, the pass wasn't the best from Nathan Mao. Good ball in from Abdel.
Stoppage. Tajeli gets to that, heads it on to Katusha. Vujanic. Could be a 2-on-1 here if they're a little bit more precise with their passing. That seems to be the issue. For 17.5 minutes. No foul, says the referee. And Subaric and now Tajeli have gone down. There's a head injury, so the referee will stop play.
Both players wanting a foul. First Katusa, not happy, and then Tajeli had a swing at it, but then I think it was just caught slightly. I don't think that was a foul as well. Both players going for the ball. This was the first one. It was Subaric rather. He's okay.
Subaric, who's been a regular in the side, when available. Well, just going back to a point I was looking to try and make earlier, Shasi, is the lack of precision when they get into those attacking areas.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, both sides able to play it through that first line, but they just can't quite find enough a little bit further forward.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is something that Marco has to look at and just try to provide those solutions. And the ball is played through into the space, past the 4 players up top for the Young Lions. Then the support must come and they've got to turn and they've got to go because they already those half spaces. No opportunity.
It's the foul on Tajeli. It's a lovely big switch out to Darren Tay. Once more, the touch isn't tight enough. Gives Gareth Sahu the opportunity to close down. And that allows the Young Lions to get back into the defensive shape. Subaric. Tajeli. Matic. It's closed down quickly by 2. It squeezes that through the legs and finds Mandic. Here's Tay. Whipped in. Ang with the header.
That was well worked. Good play in the middle of the park, and I think the referee did well there to wave play on, gave the advantage. The ball is a good one from the right-hand side. Ignatius just couldn't keep it on target, just behind him, not the tallest of players. To be fair, I think that was a good ball in, wasn't it?
Amir. That's a good ball out wide to Nathan Mao. Gets away from that pressure very nicely, Amir Shafiz, on that occasion. Well, through to Gav Sahu. Run was tracked by Madhu Mohana. Is Spence. Amir. Quite sure about the decision to go for a shot from there. Crashed it straight into Sugita. But they'll retain possession, the Young Lions. That's a really smart pass from Izwan into Ajay Robson.
Yeah, the flick on from Andrew to no one, actually. And nobody up top supporting him.
Those little moments that sometimes you might not really notice, but that pass from Izwan just onto the outside of Ajay Robson, away from the pressure, allowing him to turn into space. An example of how your teammate with the ball can make things a lot easier for you with the right sort of pass.
Yeah, exactly. Just one pass. It takes 3-4 players out of the game. From the opponents, that is.
Vujanic.
You know, in these kind of situations, when you have four in the line there for Balestier, you don't need Vujanic in the middle of the park there as a central defender.
Ang. Gonna turn away from Marcus Moses. Does so. Was there a hand? Certainly a few appeals from Balestier's players. On-field decision is to play on. That will be looked at by the VAR as we continue. As Mao wanted to do too much. And easy for Subaric.
Yeah, that's so strong defending from Subaric. That's poor from Nathan Mao. He had so much time to drive with the ball. And this is being checked.
Yeah, it is. In the background, that is ongoing.
Yeah, just going back to Vujanic now. He's in the middle. Provide that extra man in midfield if he pushes on.
Abdel.
Well, they're checking whether Luth Harith had handled the ball in the penalty area. Ball hasn't really gone out of play as well. Still being checked.
Well, it just gives the VAR that time to look at it, doesn't it? Because
yeah, exactly.
Play will continue for the moment, so there's no disruption, which is great for the neutrals watching on as well. Daniel Kyle, lovely ball into Amir Shafiz.
Made that good run, but then the ability to control it, not there.
And so now that we have a stoppage, a natural stoppage, this is when the decision will be communicated to the referee. And we get a chance to look at this, Shasik.
Yeah, from a closer angle as well. Obviously, he did touch with left finger. Let's see whether this is deemed as handball.
Well, I'm hearing that there is going to be an on-field review and a recommendation for an on-field review. But when you look at that on the replay, though, I mean, it meets the criteria for the awarding of a penalty, doesn't it? Arm extended away from the body.
Yeah, exactly. His left hand, that is, and clearly that touches his hand. Ball going back to Izwan Mahmud. And obviously, Shakawi will have to make that decision. Well, if you see it like that, it's clear, isn't it? Left hand out. Attempted cross from Natius with his left foot there.
I mean, you can understand why his arm is out there from a footballing perspective, Shasi. We've been in those positions. Yeah. It's kind of a natural movement, but that's you've got to draw the line at some point, right? There has to be a certain threshold, and It is his arm extended away from the body at a certain height, does make contact with the hand. And so if it is awarded, you can understand why
exactly,
it would be.
Exactly, you can understand why it will be given.
If it is, let's see what the read on this one is from Shakawi. And he has awarded the penalty.
Yeah, and I think if the Young Lions players just take a look at that again, or even the match officials, or the officials from the Young Lions, I think can't complain, really. Firdaus there in the background shakes his head. As you'd say, they would have been easily been 2-0 up here.
Yeah, and there are certain things as a coach. Obviously, when it comes down to the results, ultimately you have to be responsible for that. But look at what happens on the pitch. 2 great chances. They've been playing pretty well, and then they concede a penalty here, and it could be a goal down.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something that he can't control. The ability to put the ball in the net from 6 yards out. So that's a problem, isn't it? Goal scoring. We've scored 11 all season.
And they've conceded 40.
Yeah, exactly. Could be 41 here.
So it will be Mandic. He's been in a good run of goal-scoring form in recent matches in the SPL. And looking to add another to his tally. And here's one, Mabut. Using all his experience, taking his time with this. Trying to keep the pressure on Bogdan Mandic. So he should be able to go now. It's Mandic! Oh, it's a great save by Izwan. Brilliant! By Singapore's #1. That right arm at full stretch. Keeping out the penalty, but wait! There could be a retake. And there is something that they are looking at here. Nope, that's been cleared. No problems with his positioning on the line. And so Balestier immediately from this set piece. As Vujovic heads it back. Mao hacks it clear.
Great save. He's one chance for me to say that. It's a brilliant right hand. He chose or went the right way. That's the first part. And then the ability to push it away as well.
Well, Mandic, who's up to 6 goals in the SPL. He scored 5 goals in 3 matches. One in that 3-1 win against the Young Lions. Twice in a 5-2 win against Geylang. And then another 2 in that 4-1 victory against Tanjung Pagar. Didn't score in his last 2 appearances against Hougang and the Lion City Sailors. And missed a good opportunity to open the scoring for his side here.
Yeah, this was the save. Oh, brilliant. Just guessed the right way. And then strong right hand. Well, he started from out or inside his line, actually.
They'll be delighted with that, Izwan. Keeping the scores level. And perhaps a little bit of luck that the Young Lions deserve.
Yeah,
it's come off the head of Madu Mahana. Almost caused a problem for Mario Mustapic.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. Probably deserve a little bit of luck, Young Lions, after the chances that they've missed. This ball in from Spence. Madu Mahana just getting in the way.
Really is a great save, wasn't it, from Izwan? I mean, both goalkeepers have made important saves for their sides. Vujovic has Mandic. And Joao strong in the challenge.
It's a great challenge from the right back. Going to ground, getting the ball as well.
Bit of afters there between Katusha and Ao. There's Madhu.
few times already this has happened. Balestier as well as for the Young Lions. Just miscontrol. A simple ball out like that as well from Nathan Mao, going out of play.
Too many of these technical errors.
Unforced. And
yeah.
It's sloppy as well. That's the ball, isn't it? That ball through. And they are out, you know, in business already. Good ball in from Madhu.
Sang with the cross. Abdil gets up well. Mao. Spence. No way through.
Just very strong Subaric there. On the follow through as well. Gets the ball.
That's been a good signing for them,
Yeah.
Subaric. Has experience playing in Germany. Came through as a younger player with Freiburg. And spent some time with Karlsruhe as well. And just to be clear, it was Freiburger FC. And also spent some time with Greuther Fürth and Augsburg's second teams. And
that's a terrible throw-in from Andrew, right in front of the coach as well. Right in. So, given the foul throw.
Subaric to Jelly, looking for that no-look pass inside. Probably should have had a look. He's given it straight to Ajay Robson. Well, both sides were seeing quite happy when they don't have the ball, Shasi, to just drop off into their own half.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes it a little bit difficult for the attacking players, and that's where you need to be a little bit creative, you need to think a little bit. Finding that extra play in midfield.
That is once passing away from pressure again into Daniel Lukail. Doesn't lead to them going forward this time. Matic, nice touch into Katusha. Ang, plenty of space for Ignatius Ang. A much better cross, but Sugita, well, got there. Couldn't quite get it under control. Vujanic. So he's going to send the cross in. Abdil with the challenge on Mandic. Amir. Gets the foul, but they had the pass forward, and I wonder if they might have preferred the advantage.
Yeah, I think Sahu was away on the left-hand side. So challenge from Vujanic, a late one. Definitely a foul contact.
That's a good ball looking for Nathan Mao. Sugita on the cover. Was an attack, now he's back helping out in defense, Sugita. There's Subaric. Getting his options closed down quickly. Ajay. Sugita at left back now. Everywhere for Balestier.
Yeah, looking for the return ball. Sahu from Robson. Intercepted.
Loose pass from Abdil. Otherwise, has been pretty good with his passing out from the back. Chubaric. That's Katusha. Runs into trouble. That's that pressing from the Young Lions. And Katusha does well to recover. Ang smartly opens up the body, takes it into space. Has Mandic and Matic in support. Marcus Moses in the way of that cross. Ang again. Can get past Marcus Moses, and Ajay Robson in his hurry puts it out for a corner kick.
Well, a couple of times already, Luth Harith beaten on that side. Ignatius showing good pace. Has the ability to go inside or outside. Ignatius.
Vujanic, great whip on that. Madu heads it back. Katusha. That's gone out of play. Does end up in goal, but the flag had gone up.
It's, as you said, great whip on the ball, great power. It's probably just overhit a little bit, looking for Madhu. And assistant referee's flag went up straight away there.
It's Marcus Moses. Chubaric. Floated out to Tay. Nicely done by Ignatius Sang. So over the challenge of Daniel Kyle. Holds on to it. That's Sugita. Here's Tay. Vujanic. Here's Sugita. And there's that lack of precision again.
So disappointing if you're Marco. Having gotten into a very good position, nicely worked as well. He overplays that cross just a few times already. At that time it was Sugita guilty.
And Joao. Well, that's one for Sahu to chase down, and Tay as well. Sahu gets in front of Darren Tay. Looked like he was taken down. There was a tug of the jersey there. Referee has waved away the appeals.
Yeah, I think the problem was, I think the referee was so far away he couldn't see, but I think that was a foul.
And there'll be time for VAR to check this in the background. Have a look, Shasi.
Yeah, that's a pull. That's a foul. It's a clear foul. And it was his mistake, actually.
Well, it's not gone out of play, so they are still checking that. Potential denial of a goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, potentially, but the ball was, again, you got to see, look at the distance from the goal and whether the ball was going away from goal as well, but that was definitely a pull, a tug. The pace of Gaf Sahu there.
Well, Darren Tay did well initially to get to it first, and then a mistake, allowing Garv Sahu to get in front of him. And now that there's a stoppage, We'll wait and see if there is another recommendation for an on-field review. Have a look at this one again, Shasi.
Yeah, and this was, Darren was first to the ball, and then he turned the wrong way, got on the wrong side. Well, it's very clear that it's a foul. Now, we've got to decide whether it's Doxo.
So there's going to be a recommendation for an on-field review, and Darren Tay could be in trouble. Wasn't spotted by the referee initially. VAR is there to support. Oh no. There isn't going to be a recommendation for an on-field review. So check has been completed. There is no denial of a goal-scoring opportunity.
Gets away with it, Darren.
Madhu. Ajay Robson. And drew out. Spence. Mao. And Kyle. Nice and composed again. Lutharith. And straight to Madhu Mahana. Shasang unable to keep that in play. Here's Ajay Robson. Flag is up for offside. Always disappointing in those situations where the player looking right across that defensive line gets caught in an offside position.
Yeah, just being impatient there. Lutharith, probably the ball could have come a little bit earlier from Robson, but still, you got to see the line.
We are expecting at least 5 minutes to be added on at the end of this half. Now Shubaric has found himself in a pretty advanced position, changing places with Katusha for the moment. Shubaric going back inside as Matic collects on the far side of the pitch. Here comes that pass, Andrew out. Read it well. Got across quickly. Here's Spence. The drive at that defense. No way forward. And so they'll go back, recycle, and try again on the left. Here's Luth. There's a lot of walking going on in front of Ajay Robson. That's why he has to hold on to it.
Yeah, and just before that as well, when Spence was going forwards, Amir Shafiz had made that run, stopped a little bit, and then made that run again. The ball didn't come. And then Spence had to turn around and play back.
There's Mao with the cross, just behind Amir Shafiz. There's Lutharith. And confirmation that we indeed are going to have a minimum of 5 minutes. And again, there's not too much going on at the moment for the player in possession. Now there is, trying to change up the tempo.
Yeah, it's almost like a carbon copy of things that happen every single time. You know, the pedestrian and then that one-touch play, and then after that, they give the ball away. Same thing happening over and over again.
Katusha. Sugita. Looks like he was fouled. And it is going to be a yellow card for Andrew out.
Yeah, clear foul that. Takes his player out. A little bit late there. Sugita, very smart here, just... There you go. Skips past Andrew. Minimal touch, but foul.
Fourth yellow card of the season. Looking at a suspension here now, Andrew out. 23-year-old. On loan from BG Tampines. Back at the Young Lions, who he was playing for during his national service. Came through with Tampines as a younger player, also part of the Singapore Sports School program. That's Katusha, much better with that delivery. There was a foul on Abdil.
Yeah, that's a cheap foul to give away, because that was a brilliant ball from Katusha. From the dead ball. He was Vujanic there.
Amir Shafiz looking for the quick pass. And it was delivered, couldn't take it down. The stoppage, to his credit, was alert. Out of his area very quickly. Vujanic. Katusha. Uses his body well. Katusha with the shot off Mandic. More frustration for Balestier. Here's Matic. Into Abdil. I think that might have been a shot from Katusha.
Yeah, I think he was going for the shot there. He totally miskicked it. The ball could have gone to Mandic. This ball in. Just Ignatius just letting it go. A little bit of pressure from Daniel Ukal.
Well, he's got the numbers, Katusha. 4 goals, 9 assists, but Shasi doesn't really feel like he's been a player that has really excited in his overall play.
Yeah, exactly, and I guess the same can be said about one of the players today in terms of it's been pedestrian really. Intensity not there at all.
Daniel. Nice movement off the ball. Young Lions without goals in their last 2 matches. 2-0 defeat to Hougang and a 5-0 defeat to BG Tampines prior to that. Last time they scored was in a 1-1 draw against Geylang on the 26th of February. Sugita, Katusha. That's too much on that pass for Mandic. Last touches of Moses.
Yeah, it's been the story of that first half. Firstly, Marcus Moses giving the ball away, and then Katusha's ball, a little bit too hard. Lucky to get that corner. The last chance of this first half.
So one more opportunity just before the break. Got Ignatius Sang standing behind the goal line. 5 others from Balestier in the box. Matic can flick it on at the near post. No whistle just yet. So Vujanic will be able to whip another cross into the box. Easy for Marcus Moses, and there is the whistle for half-time, Chasik.
Yeah, very disappointing in terms of performance, really. It's been, you know, a match riddled with errors, and rightly so. Goes in 0-0 in this first half.
So Izwan Mahmoud with an excellent save from the penalty spot, denying Bogdan Mandic. We also had 2 great chances for the Young Lions early on in this half. Garv Sahu in the first opportunity, sending it wide, and then Spence shooting it straight down the middle with a save from Mustapic. There have been chances, but it's not been a match that's been played at the greatest intensity or tempo. Hoping for an improvement from both these sides in the second 45. But for the moment, half-time, it is the Young Lions 0, Balestier Khalsa 0. Welcome back to Jalan Besar Stadium for this fixture between the Young Lions and Balestier Khalsa. 0-0 at half-time. few chances to look through. So let's have a look at the highlights. Beginning with this early opportunity for Gav Sahu in the 4th minute. Great run in behind, lovely first touch, and then with all of the far post to aim for, decides for some reason to go for the near post and sends it wide.
Yeah, that was a good spot from Amir Shafi's. The ball just over the top. But his first touch was very good, Gav Sahu. Then had so much of time. There he needed to open up his body. Instead went for the near post shot, which wasn't on at all. It's poor decision making. That was the great first touch. And then here, just open up your body and put it into the far corner.
Has that pace to work with. The Young Lions with another huge opportunity to open the scoring. Spence shooting straight down the middle, and Mustapic making the save.
Yeah, exactly. And Darren hasn't had the best of first halves. He gives the ball away. And then Nathan Mao head up, looks for Spence. And he just went through the middle, anywhere to the side. It would have been 1-0.
So 2 of the opportunities to get a goal not taken. Balestier throwing into the game, had a penalty shout for a handball of Lut Harit. Play continued initially. There was an on-field review, and eventually the penalty was given.
Yeah, exactly. And from the penalty, it was a great save from veteran Izwan. Strong right arm, gets the right way, makes a superb save.
That was in the 28th minute. Izwan, who really took a long time to get back on his line, some gamesmanship involved, but all that matters for him and his team is that he made the save. As we have a look at some of the numbers there, Shasti.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of shots on target, there you can see only 2-1. But apart from that, just overall game in that first half, it was poor in terms of the quality, passing, and intensity wasn't there as well. Let's hope we have a better second half.
Right, so this is one of 4 fixtures on match week 15. We had 2 played yesterday. Albirex with the 3-2 win. They came from 2 goals down to give BG Tampines their first defeat of the season. And then Geylang, back-to-back victories for them in the league. 1-0 win against Hougang. And the Lion City Sailors will be up against Tanjong Pagar United at Jurong East Stadium on Monday. Well, let's go for another break, and when we come back, we will have the second half between the Young Lions and Balestier Khalsa, live from Jalan Besar. Welcome back to Jalan Besar Stadium. Just ahead of the second half between Young Lions and Balestier Khalsa. Still waiting for the teams to actually come out for the second 45. Not too many real opportunities in that first half. Well, actually, there were some good opportunities. Pardon me. Two early chances for the Young Lions. One from Gav Sahu and the other for Harry Spence. Unable to make the most of those one-on-ones against Mustapic. A goal for Balestier. And Mandic from the penalty spot as well had a big chance for Balestier to get a goal. He was denied by Izwan Mabun, an excellent save. But aside from those three big opportunities, not much else in terms of the tempo and the intensity of the gameplay or the quality that we're seeing overall, Shasi.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about those chances. Those were two very, very good chances for the Young Lions. They could have been 2-0 up, and then obviously that penalty miss from Mandic. But having said that, in general play has been poor in terms of the quality of passes. Has been sloppy at times. Players misplacing those passes, and of course the intensity wasn't there as well. I think you were talking about. Sometimes players were just walking, not asking for the ball, not demanding for the ball, especially the players up top. So things have got to change if they want to see goals in the second half.
Well, the substitutes getting some camera time as well, as we wait for the two teams to come back out. Now, we were talking, Shasi, as well about the routines at half-time for players on the bench.
Yeah.
And I feel like some things haven't changed in years, and then
Since we played,
it's just been a while ago now. But what was interesting to see was the difference in approach. We saw with Balestier, they actually had some passing drills, had a possession drill. We didn't quite see that from the Young Lions.
it's good to see actually. You know, it's more kind of like a structured kind of session at half-time for the Balestier side. As for the Young Lions, players were just playing those long balls, and that's what we do when we are bored at half-time.
You normally see the players coming on, the players from the substitutes bench just on one side of the pitch, picking those longer passes, and saw a nice change of approach from Balestier. So, no half-time changes for both sides. And we're just moments away now from kick-off. A few more words of advice from Abdil, the oldest player in this team, at 36. Sang taking his time to stroll across, and we'll have to wait for Balestier to be done with their huddle. They are also looking for Matic to join them as Marko Kraljevic watches on. It is an incredibly humid evening here at Jalan Besar. Well, at least from both sides' perspective, the fact that they've kept a clean sheet in that first half, so we don't have to worry about clawing back at the deficit in this second half as we get underway at Jalan Besar. It's Balestier Khalsa in the black going from left to right on your screens, up against the Young Lions in red. Second half of this fixture. The Young Lions in 7th, up against Balestier Khalsa in 5th. A point for Balestier will take them back to 4th. The Young Lions, even with a win, will stay in 7th, but they'll create even more distance between themselves and Tanjung Pagar, right at the foot of the table. They're looking for their first win on merit. Had a win awarded to them after a result against Hougang was overturned in their favour. Here's Spence.
Spence there with that, just letting the ball come across him. Obviously draws the foul from Subaric. A good opportunity for Spence, or rather now Amir leaves it for Amir to swing one in.
Abdel is making the push into the box. Amir Shafiz with a delivery. Daniel Lukal with the header back. Off the head of Marcus Moses. And it's an attack that finishes, but it's a pretty poor effort.
Yeah, and right-footed shot from the left footer. And it's poor marking really from Balestier. That's a free header from Daniel Lukal. If only you get given some good direction on that.
Subaric. Gets it back again from Vujanic. There's Sugita. And the press is on from the Young Lions. Shafiz cuts out that pass from Madu Mahana. Nathan Mao goes on his own. Well wide.
Yeah, didn't trouble the goalkeeper at all. It came from a mistake from Madhu trying to thread the ball in, which was the right idea anyway, but they set up very nicely. The Young Lions, there you go. A bit of disguise on that, Madhu, but just couldn't find the pass. The shot was a disappointing one in the end.
There's Daniel Lukayel. Matic. Vujanic takes out two players. Amir Shafiz and Gaf Sahu, both wiped out by Lazar Vujanic. Oh, I think he's saying that was a clean header.
Yeah, I think so as well. He went up for the header. Tell you what, in my opinion, I don't think that's a foul. Went up for the header, wins the header. He's much taller, much more stronger than the two of them.
Tall players in these situations, unfortunately at times, having that height advantage going against them in the eyes of a few referees.
Speaking for yourself?
Yeah.
Another good position.
There was actually a study done a pretty long time ago now about how the height of a player, taller players, they tend to be seen as a little bit more aggressive by officials. Lut goes for goal. Easy for Mustapic.
Straight at the goalkeeper there.
There you go, just pulled up the study that I was talking about. Come back to that in a bit. Oh, it wasn't even a corner.
It looked like it came off Marcus Moses, but Mandic isn't complaining as well. It must have been a last touch from him. Marcus Moses just coming across his man. He does well there. Well worked, but game effort in the end.
So there was this research that analyzed over 120,000 fouls in the German Bundesliga, UEFA Champions League and the World Cup. And they found that in ambiguous scenarios, referees are more likely to rule against the taller player.
One of the disadvantages of...
something for actually officials
Yeah.
to be a little bit more aware of. We talk about our biases.
Yeah.
Always good to challenge your biases.
For coaches as well.
Yep. It is apparently a phenomenon driven by evolutionary psychology where height is associated with dominance, leading to that perception that taller players are the instigators in physical collisions. Explains all the yellow cards I used to get.
Not the mistime tackles.
I'm going to blame it on that, Shasi. Oh, back to the action here. Vujanic clips a pass out to Sugita. Let's take.
Well, again, Darren had all the time in the world to turn with the ball, and no one behind him. Just lack of communication and awareness as well.
Jelly. Steps out by Abdel for a corner.
Yeah, takes the safest route there. Abdel is putting the ball out of touch, and an opportunity again. I think the set pieces for Balestier haven't been that great. Delivery has been poor.
Matic back to Katusha. Katusha with the effort. Oh, that is such an important intervention from Abdel. That could have been headed in, you know.
Yeah, right on the 6-yard line as well. He has a laugh about it. Good opportunity here, just right in front of his one as well.
That's brilliant from Abdel. Katusha. Matic again looking for the flick on. Here's the Jelly. Šubarić is free. Header straight at Izwan.
Yeah, that's a good chance. Good ball in as well. I say good ball, but before that, the delivery from the set piece again, so poor. And the header from Šubarić straight at Izwan. Could have gone across, should have gone across.
Katusha opens up the avenue for the run inside, and he's over. Took that pass to Mandic, who does well to keep the attack going. Katusha. Abdel puts it up into the air. Katusha heads it back down to Matic. There's one for Lut Harith to deal with. Directs it away from his penalty area. He will stay under pressure. Tay. Sugita. Was he taken down? Sugita does well to get back up. Sugita with a shot! Through the legs, and it's in. Masahiro Sugita with the opening goal of this contest. It was crying out for some quality, and we got it from Balestier's number 18.
Well, fair play to Sugita. For a moment there, you think, go down. Could have gone down anyway. He does so well to stay on his feet there. It was well worked. Ball in from Darren, nicely done. And then he takes a couple of chances here. And then turns his man. And drills a low shot right into the corner. It was against Daniel Ukyle. And through the legs of Abdel. And Izwan can't do anything about it. It was unsighted, really.
Sugita scoring his 5th goal in the SPL. One behind Mandic now in the race to be Balestier's top scorer. Just a wonderful player he is, Sugita. Six-year-old in possession here, under pressure from Amir Shafis, wins the foul. First joined Balestier in January of 2023, Sugita. He's playing with the Elberex. Prior to that, formerly with Nagoya Grampus under 18s. The 5 goals he's scored, 2 now off the left foot, 3 off the right, so he shows that he's got that ability to be dangerous from both sides.
Yeah, I think so. Sugita, when he first started out for Elbrex, he usually played out wide. And in recent years, obviously, he's come inside. He's done very well for Balestier.
Here's one. Long punt upfield, looking for Lutharit. Spectacular that from Mustapic.
Man, this is good when you see Tajeli now. He's just coming inside, providing that extra option, and that's probably another way of getting out. Again, Sugita probably a little bit too strong for Luth. Gets away with it. Gets the better of Sugita initially, and then got a little bit lucky.
Sugita also scoring in the league for the first time since 20th of February in that 5-2 win against Jalan. Been impressed with 17-year-old Daniel Lucayo.
Yeah.
He's very steady in central midfield. Looks to be technically sound and very secure in possession. So we have another look at this from Izwan to Lutharit.
Yeah, Izwan trying to play the playmaker's role with a long, searching ball.
Goalkeepers union from one to the other, both playing in green as well. Yeah, he's getting it from Marko Kraljevic for that pass. Mustapic.
Yeah, puts his side under pressure.
RJ Robson. This is one. Will be the playmaker from such a deep position. Šubarić. Just getting there with the header, as does Marcus Moses. Matic quickly on to Ang. 3 in the box, aim for Matic to Mandic. He's missed again.
And it should have been 2-0 that. Great work. The first ball out for Ignatius was brilliant. And then this ball in, It's nicely done, and Matic does so well to play it back for Mandic. Was it behind him? Yeah, maybe a little bit too high, but good move from Balestier.
Year-old Bogdan Mandic. Great chances to get goals in this match. Both attempts going up, 13 of them. Here's Spence. Sent away by Modumohana. That's Daniel Kyle again. He's demanding movement. He wants options. When he had it, it was just so static in front of him. That's just happened far too often for the Young Lions in this match. Is there a stray arm? No, says the referee. There's Lutarif. Ajay Robson, now they're on the move. Gets away from Madhu. Vujanic, reliable. Is covering at the back. Amir, too strong for Tay. Ambitious from Daniel Lukail. Perhaps a bit of frustration and wanting to take things in his own hands.
Yeah, up to that point, he has been really, really good in the middle of the park for Young Lions. And just a rush of blood there, but just before that, spoke about it. Players to want the ball. No point playing 4 men up top, but you don't want the ball and they're very static.
Sugita. The referee didn't like his physicality on that occasion.
Again, pretty soft again. Sugita not happy about the decision. He just shoves him off the ball, but it's not a foul to me. It's just being stronger than Amir.
And in all of that, there's a yellow card for Darren Tay as well, getting in the face of the referee. Second yellow card in the SPL for Darren Tay for dissent this time. Perhaps a little bit annoyed with his own performance tonight. Just heard from Marko Kraljevic as well that we might be bringing on Daniel Goh.
Yeah, in 5 minutes.
The flag went up, but play allowed to continue. Sugita with that burst of pace. Eventually out to Ang, makes another run inside. Sugita given a lot to do. Weak appeals for a penalty.
Sugita having played the ball in for Ignatius, probably didn't want the ball. had to make that run. He had to make the right run.
I don't think there was much of an issue there with that challenge. Well, something Balestier will be looking for is a clean sheet this evening. Not something they've been able to achieve in the SPL this season. Stoppage. The Young Lions, they still have Abner Vinicius and Sergio Mendonca on the bench. If they decide to use them to add a bit more of a goal threat. No one in this 11 that they have out there, the Young Lions, has actually scored a goal in the league this season. Stay. Well, at some stage, it's going to be down to the Young Lions to pick up the pace. Try and force a few more errors from Balestier Khalsa if they can. The Jelly.
Marco not happy that they just can't keep the ball.
I think he wanted Ignatius Ang to be a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And it looks like his night is going to be done soon anyway, Ignatius Ang. Set to be replaced soon by Daniel Goh. That's Marcus Moses. Looking for Ajay Robson. Space had opened up very nicely for the Young Lions on the left hand. They've used it. Daniel Kyle. Spence. Ow. Chips it towards Ajay Robson. Utharit. An encouraging move from the Young Lions.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, just looking at that again, you know, nobody in the front line just wants to take that responsibility to just take a shot. Ajay Robson here just with the cut back, and then so just almost looking for that perfect setup. It's not going to happen. Got to make it work. Miss kick there from Ajay. And Sahu with a setup. No, just couldn't keep it low there.
So a couple of changes, one for Balestier, which is Daniel Goh, one for Ignatius Ang. And the Young Lions also making a change with Joshua Little, the 18-year-old, coming on. And here has replaced Daniel Ukail. It's an injury for Katusha, but play will continue for the moment. As Balestier in possession is Sugita. Katusha stays down. Balestier being encouraged to keep going. As Daniel Goh up against Lutharith. Gonna wrap his foot around that.
Yeah, first action for Daniel Goh. Trying to be as direct as possible, one-on-one with Lutharith.
Katusha still rolling around on the far side of the pitch as we have a look at this run from Daniel Goh, ultimately coming to nothing.
Yeah, you see the Young Lions subs. Vinicius and Mendonca.
Looking to add a bit more of a threat now. The Young Lions going forward. Mendonca with 5 goals this season. Vinicius with 2.
Yeah, this was the challenge. Didn't really see much there against Daniel O'Kyle.
Might have taken an arm, stray arm to the chin there. So getting some treatment, and that will continue outside the pitch. An opportunity for the coaches to get a few instructions across, and players as well. Get some fluids on board. Spence. As Katusha being waved back in after his treatment's done. Ajay Robson. Balestier in these situations very happy to say you can have all of the ball you want in those areas. Just try and start making these inroads as they're looking to do here, the Young Lions. There's Little. It looked like it was nudged in the back, and the free kick has actually gone to Balestier.
Yeah, I think he handled the ball when he went down. I think that was what was given, not the shove from Vujanic before that. There was an arm as well. It's definitely a foul, and in fact, was given for that handball.
So time for the Young Lions to bring on some firepower now, with Mendonca and Abner Vinicius coming on for Nathan Mao and Gav Sahu. So more quality coming on for the Young Lions in attack. I'll be able to ask different questions of this Balestier Khalsa defense. Here's Mendonca. Getting a touch. Spence. Matic. Standing right in front of him. And Šubarić. Looking for the header, but there was no one around him really. I think he might have wanted Mandic just to hold on to that instead of looking for the flick on.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at Izwan, who's saying to his team, play forward, get it forward. Amir. Ajay. Mendonca. Zabna.
Down the line there, Miss Vinicius on this left foot. Usually cuts inside more often than not.
Ajay Robson. Oh, you never know with passes like that from Abdil. Is there a foul on Darren? No, says the referee.
Yeah, you're right. You never know because it's handed up as a corner under pressure. Puts the ball into that channel where give your forward a chance, especially with Mendonca running in.
Corner taken quickly as we have a look at this replay. Abner puts it into the box. Abdil heads it back in, and Subaric heads it back out. Katusha with space to push into now. Although he's met eventually by Ajay Robson.
He does well there, Ajay Robson, just to slow things down, to delay the pass forward.
Matic popping up on the outside of that midfield too. A bit going on there off the ball between Daniel Goh and Ajay Robson.
Yeah, Ajay Robson was just stronger than Daniel Goh, that's all, and Daniel not happy with the challenge. He thought that was a little bit of a shove on his face.
As Daniel Goh to try and let his feet do the talking. And again, coming together between Daniel Goh and Ajay Robson. And this time around, it's Daniel Goh who gets the free kick. And there will be a yellow card for Ajay Robson.
Yeah, Ajay Robson just getting sucked in there. Should have just, because he was already there, just use his body. And a little bit of afters, gets the yellow card.
First yellow card of the season for Ajay Robson, making just his 7th appearance in the SPL. With the Young Lions, while he's doing his national service, broke through with Hougang United. Looks like that's where he'll be returning once his national service stint is done. Not sure if those low deliveries into the area is part of the plan for Balestier, but we've seen a few of those, haven't we?
I think that's part of the plan. It hasn't worked, and it's never going to work at the present moment. Just looking at it, Moana finding himself in a advanced position after the free kick.
It's Marcus Moses.
It's very good from Sugita there.
So a change for Balestier. Fudil is going to be coming on for Darren.
It's not a bad decision. With Darren already carded, you want to be safe, especially with Harith Kandi out.
24-year-old Fudil Iyad coming on for his 12th appearance. Doesn't start too many matches, but he's been a player who is a reliable part of the squad. He joined Balestier in February of 2023. Former Home United youngster. He's with the Lion City Sailors as well. Amna against Fudil. Is Amna Vinicius. Chased down by Sugita. Strength and balance. Vinicius with the shot. Touch on its way through.
Yeah, it just cuts in. Lots of pace. Vinicius. And then that final, just a little too strong for Sugita. And he comes off Vujanic there on the way.
And Vinicius has spent time at Fluminense with the under-20 side. With the young Lions on loan from Boa Vista. Two corners, just two of them for the young Lions. This one will be taken by Amir Shafiz. Goes very deep, spends a lot of time in the air, and so it's easy for Mustapic.
As you said, too easy for Mustapic. A bit of a push in there as well for Marcus Moses and Tajeli.
It's a shot by Little. Went a bit too large.
Shot was on. Space in front of him. Yeah, so much of space in front of him. Lunging last ditch challenge from Vujanic.
So Balestier getting closer and closer to those 3 points, and also a first clean sheet in the SPL this season. As the young Lions make another attacking change. Spence is off. The 19-year-old Nicholas Benninger is on.
Spence coming off hasn't really had an effect on the game. Last sub for the young Lions.
Ajay Robson against Daniel Goh. Ajay wins that battle. Manager loses track to fly that ball. There's Katusha. Gets away, a chance to kill it off, and Balestier take their opportunity. Daniel Goh with the touch for Balestier's second.
Well, get punished, the young Lions. Well worked on the left-hand side. The pace. There you go, push and run. Brilliantly done. Going past Andrew. And the cutback. Superb there from Katusa. Finds his man in the middle. Substitute, making it safe for Balestier Khalsa.
Daniel Goh getting his second league goal. Katusha up to 10 assists now. Just that burst of pace from Katusha, creating separation, and was able to pick out Daniel Goh. One of 3 players waiting in the box. And that should be it for Balestier.
Goal for Balestier, Khalsa, by number
Getting that
13,
insurance of a second goal. Abner. Jelly cuts out that pass from Abner Vinicius. Vujanic. A couple of calls from his teammate to get the ball moving. Shifted away from pressure. It's a delightful pass, scooped out to go. Unable to find a teammate. Joshua Little on loan from the Lion City Sailors. Highly regarded young talent. Abner. Fudil right on his back, but Abner Vinicius able to spin away and turn. Desperate lunge from Fudil, does nothing to stop the momentum of Abner Vinicius. He is taken down eventually. They'll get a free kick, and Mendonca and Vujanic getting involved. Jelly comes across as well.
Yeah, the Jelly should just walk away. It wasn't his problem anyway.
And Katusha there looking to try and calm things down with Tajeli. Lut Harith also going across to Tajeli to have a word.
Not happy with the Mendonca there. Definitely a foul on that, Vinicius.
Things eventually will calm down. Referee just having a word with both captains to say, just make sure you have some control over your players. It's good work from Abner Vinicius though in the lead up to that.
Yeah, he's going to take this.
So you've got Balestier's wall. You have a couple of young Lions players in there as well, looking to try and distract the goalkeeper. It's Abner Vinicius off the post. Marcus Moses, lovely turn. Flag goes up for offside anyway, but Mustapic with the save.
Unlucky there. Good effort from Abner Vinicius from the free kick. The goalkeeper does well. I think he has to touch on this one. Oh, in fact, it was a deflection. And then, yeah, Marcus Moses coming from an offside position. The way he took it was brilliant. It goes past Ajeli.
It's been that sort of evening for the young Lions. Think back to those 2 chances that they had very early on now in the contest. Sahu and then Spence. Big opportunities. Could have been a very different game of football had they taken their chances. Instead, it was Balestier the second half who took theirs.
Yeah, that's something that they've got to really deal with.
Substitution for Balestier, Khalsa.
Chances
Number 9,
come your way, you've got to bury it. And in fact, it was open goals as well. Clear-cut chances, good quality ones.
A change for Balestier. Elijah Lim is on for Bogdan Mandic, who himself could have gotten a couple of goals. So his effort from the penalty spot denied by Izwan. And set the header from close range wide. That's Katusha. Stretches those legs.
Yeah, it's up to young Lions now just to chase the game, because Balestier don't mind this.
See, done by Little. Amir. Ajay. Tireless in midfield, Ajay Robson. Away from Fudil.
Yeah, I think this was what was expected from Ajay. Just early on, we were talking about him, and he's just full of running. He doesn't stop.
Incredible work rate.
Same can be said of Vojanic there, just coming across.
Halfway through, the minimum of 5 minutes, set it on. It's 4 in red to aim for, and it's a really poor delivery from Amir Shafis. He's having a look at someone as if to say they needed to make the run in there, but whatever it was, just didn't work. Long throws, a good one into Marcus Moses. And the shot on the turn. That's Vujanic. Sugita. Go. Sugita. Matic. Back to Elijah Lim.
It's a good idea there, wasn't it? He went for the near post grounder.
He scored a stunning late goal, Elijah Lim, in that 2-1 win earlier this season.
He's well worked there, Elijah. Probably this one had it covered as well. And this was the effort from Marcus Moses. Found himself in a very good position, actually.
Misunderstanding there between Marcus Moses and Abner Vinicius. Lutare. Updale. Little. Go. Lim. Resolute. Make something of that pass from his one. And that's full time at Jalan Besar, Shasik.
Yeah, and in the end, Balestier coming through, and just that quality in the final third proves to be the difference. And it's come down to that, really, but it has been a pretty disappointing game in terms of the quality.
So the young Lions suffer disappointment once again. They had great opportunities to really change the complexion of this matchup. Couldn't take their chances, and eventually they were punished by Balestier. Masahiro Sugita getting his 5th goal of the season, opening the scoring in the 55th minute. for the Tigers. Daniel Goh then adding a second late on in the 85th. Final score at Jalan Besar, Balestier Khalsa 2, Young Lions 0. And a first clean sheet of the season for Balestier in the SPL. As we have a look at the highlights, beginning with this chance in the 4th minute. Gaf Sahu, one-on-one, bearing down on goal, but all of the far post to hit, sends his effort wide at the near.
Yeah, Gaf Sahu just fails to open up his body as he was running through. A couple of touches, probably too much time. Good first touch. There, open up your body and just put it into the far post. Took an extra touch and went for the near post.
And in the 26th, Lut Harith, judged to have handled this by the VAR, recommended an on-field review, and eventually the penalty was awarded.
Yeah, you can see why it was given there. Left hand outstretched, penalty given, but Izwan had other ideas, saving it brilliantly from Mandic.
Yeah, before this, by the way, Spence as well had a big chance to score for the Young Lions. He found himself denied by Mustafic. It was a poor finish, but Izwan there with a great save from the penalty, denying Mandic. And then into the second half, Katusha in the 53rd minute with the shot that was headed on target, but Abdel Kayem was in the way.
Yeah, just standing right in the edge of the 6-yard area, puts his head on it. And this one would have been unsighted.
And then the opening goal, just 2 minutes after that, coming courtesy of Masahiro Sugita. Have a look at his tenacity there. Looks like he's knocked over, gets back up, keeps his balance, and then puts it away very nicely.
Yeah, and they still had enough players in the box to stop this. But great play from Sugita. And then drills it right into the far corner. It is one just unsighted, goes through Abdil there.
5 goals in the league for Sugita. And the opening goal for Balestier. Another chance coming up for them. Mandic in the 61st minute. Going to try and meet this header from Matic. And sending his effort wide.
First ball out from Matic was brilliant for Ignatius, and then his ball in. Mandic just couldn't get that.
A bit off balance perhaps. Another one for Balestier. Coming up in the 85th minute, Katusha getting away from Andrew Au and setting up that chance for Daniel Goh to score his second of the SPL.
Yeah, it was all about Katusha, wasn't it? It's brilliant, just stop and then he goes past. Andrew hit up, puts it on a plate for Daniel Goh.
That's Katusha. He's got some space to work with. Can really hurt the opposition, especially with his pace. 10th assist of the season. And then a couple of chances late on. And Vinicius from the free kick, a deflection off the wall onto the post. Marcus Moses, nice turn, but the flag had gone up for offside.
Yeah, it's very unlucky there from Abner Vinicius. Deflection, goalkeeper couldn't get there. Marcus Moses was offside.
So those were the highlights from this contest. Plenty of attempts. Young Lions, 77% possession. Wow.
Yeah, and in the end, you know, I said this, it was all about that final bit of end product at the end, the quality, which was given by Katusha and, of course, from Sugita, that proved to be the difference between the two sides.
And so Balestier Khalsa return to winning ways. 5 wins from their last 6 league matches now, in a nice run of form that they are, which is why they find themselves in 4th. 3 points ahead of Geylang International and 6 behind Elbrex Niigata in 3rd. For the Young Lions, they stay in 7th on 5 points. Let's have a look back at what we've seen from match week 15 so far in terms of the results. 3-2 win for Elbrex against BG Tampines. And then a 1-0 win for Geylang against Hougang. Both those matches taking place yesterday. Just saw Balestier picking up another win here against the Young Lions. And we wrap things up tomorrow with the Lion City Sailors travelling to Jurong East Stadium to take on Tanjong Pagar United. That one is top against bottom. Well, thanks for joining us for this fixture. More to come from the Singapore Premier League tomorrow, but for now, it is goodbye and good night from Jalan Besar.